Thank you so much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jorge Costa. I am a palliative care nurse, and together with my colleague Ines Stivic, who was brave enough to put me this challenge to make a presentation about palliative care and the challenge at the end of life in patients with Alzheimer's disease. I come from Germany, where I work, and we have a long tradition with palliative and hospice care over 30 years, and we have more than 3,000 hospice and palliative care service across the country. In a country like Germany with 80 million people, you can see by these numbers that dementia is also a health care priority. Let's talk a little bit about my institution. Diakonissenstiftungs-Krankenhaus is a medial hospital in Germany, in Western Germany, Rhineland-Palatinate. That hospital has capacity almost 500 beds with 6 different departments and various focus and specializations. And my unit, my lovely palliative care unit, is an independent unit at this hospital. It belongs to anesthesia department. We have 7 single rooms, like you see. The rooms are, every room is like this. And we have a palliative care team with nurses, physicians, physiotherapists. These 3 different working groups, they are all also with palliative care education. With us are also pastors, 2 psycho-oncologicals, music and animal therapists, and social workers. Like you can see at these pictures, that's in hospital, but it looks like a little bit familiar. That's our goal, to provide the most possible life quality, and we have to pay attention to the little details. There is also opportunity if someone from the family wants to sleep in the patient's room, there is also this opportunity, and we have no visit time. Every family member can come to visit the patient by day, by night, whenever they want. Yeah, we also have a beautiful piano. I'm not able to play, but we have music therapists. And let's start about one case report. A woman, she was born not so far away from Croatia, a Serbian woman who lived long in Germany, and she came at hospital after 2 years at one nursing home, and before she collapsed, and it was reported that she had bloody stools. These bloody stools wasn't reported from the paramedics, it wasn't reported emergency room, but she had no decision-making capacity. She was really agitated, aggressive, and it was impossible to do anything with her. She was permanently on fetal position, like you can see. She was like that all the time. And she has hold and hard contractures of the lower extremities, and she was always gesticulating with the hands and arms, really aggressive. Well, at the emergency room, the question was what to do. Full treatment, or what are you doing here? At the time, we didn't have no enough data, and we were happy to have the Mrs. M's daughter, her appointed healthcare agent, who brought us her living will. And like you can see, everything was pretty clear there, DNI, DNE, and DN everything else. And I tried to translate that sentence, and if you see, there is a will of no torment wanted by prolonging life, do not initiate artificial ventilation or anything else, only pain relief measures desired. We call that best care support. And then she came to our palliative unit, and the first approach in order to to do something against that agitation and aggressive behavior, we gave her midazolam nasal. Another way was impossible. Intravenous, it was really impossible because she was gesticulating all the time. Yes, normally Alzheimer don't causes pain, but that behavior and shows us she must be in pain. And like the other palliative care patients, the most common symptoms are fear and pain. Okay, with fear we were pretty okay, I must say, after midazolam, and then we started to measure that pain. It was really difficult because she couldn't talk, but his facial expression was so stressed. And she, as you can see, she brought us a fentanyl patch, 50 micrograms per hour, but with this BMI, is the question, is that working? Not at all. So we made a different approach. We made some subcutaneous continuous perfusion for morphine, not too much. If you do the equivalent with fentanyl, it's pretty low concentration for morphine. And we gave her only half-liter subcutaneous azotonicus solution to compensate that exsicosis in order to avoid some delirium or some other symptomatic. And we start to see the patient seemed more relaxed and it was able to eat again. And I'm going to that part normally. And the patient starts to speak. The patient starts to communicate, not with us because somehow she forgot to speak German, but she was able to speak Serbian with her daughter. And the daughter was often there. It was a really, really good help. And we didn't need more midazolam, for example, and only the side effects for morphine, that relief from pain, was good enough in order to stimulate communication. Yeah, and now we try another approach. Like we do with other patients to relieve pain, we have massage, exercise as much the patient can, and application of heat or cooling packs, and another relaxation techniques like music therapy. Yeah, we started to see that she made great improvements and more tranquilizing conversations were possible and more physiotherapy, but don't get me wrong, physiotherapy, it wasn't so intensive. Just what she could do, she did it. It was done. And like you see, from fetal position to sitting on the chair, it's a huge thing. And she was able to eat a yogurt, and that wasn't really to feed her, to give you some nutrition support. It was only life quality. If that patient could eat something after what happened, I think that's a great call. It's like humanity. I like to say that. Yeah, she had that late diagnosis from Alzheimer, 2020, and at that time she had also aspiration pneumonia. We talked with the daughter in order to ask what to do now. She is stabilized. Let's feed this patient, yes or no? And the answer was no. And the same thing was also with another risk for urinary infections. What to do? Should we give antibiotics if she is getting infected or not? No. We started to do that. We thought about to do that at a conservative way, and we just gave her morphine like we did before, and it was enough to get the most better possible life quality. Yeah. The main key on that case was really this living will. In the United States, people are calling that, and they are a little bit developed, like as in Germany. They have that advanced care planning that's, on my knowledge, a little bit more precise, but living will is also a great thing. we are seeing on our palliative care ward, the oncological patients, they are well informed, and they have almost the majority from that patients, they have a living well. But how about with the patients with the other disease like Alzheimer's disease? That's not so often, unfortunately. I think we have to work on that matter. Yeah, like I said, it was really the key to have this living will. And we did the best we could. I'm repeating again, that sentence was really the key to do or not to do. And sometimes less is more. Mrs. M died on the 7th day at our palliative ward. And I like to believe, and I do truly believe, she was treated with compassion and respect. She was kept clean, comfortable, and free from distressing symptoms according to will. And once again, we gave her the most possible quality of life that we could achieve. Advanced care planning is the key. Yeah, and then another conclusion, this project came because of partnership with my institution and with Mlinarska Nursing School in Zagreb in order to promote and in order to start a great implementation from palliative care in Croatia, in your country, your beautiful country. Yes, I think I'm done.